Hey, what's up? Let's talk about building generative UIs, part 2. Yesterday we talked about how important it is in a generative UI to give your users a natural means of communicating with the system, like text, voice, or images. Let's talk about the behind the scenes that happens in order to process the natural language to infer intent data. So the reason why you want to give your users a natural means of communicating with the system is because it's a much richer source of intent information than like clicks. And the intent information is what we need to know what the layout is that we're going to present to the user. Our LLM gives us the power to infer the intent without having to code, like manually code in all of a bunch of different pages using conditional rendering and state management and things like that. So today we're going to talk about the LLM. LLMs are neural networks, and they fall under the broader domain of natural language processing, which is just what it sounds like, processing natural language with AI. They're trained on massive amounts of text and code so that they can process, understand, generate new text and code. So it works really well with the unstructured stuff. What makes LLMs special, aside from other natural language processors, is its transformer architecture. And what that means is that an LLM can look at all parts of a data set, like a query, at the same time. I'll make another video, get into the nerdy, nitty-gritty details, but the TLDR is that older models, before the transformer architecture was introduced in 2017, had to look at the data sequentially in order. And transformer architecture is novel because it's equipped with what's called its self-attention mechanism that allows the model to look at all parts of the sentence at the same time. And for that reason, it can derive context from that query. So for example, let's say that one user's query is, what's the right way to hold scissors? The attention mechanism knows that in this context, the word right, R-I-G-H-T, means correct. Where another phrase, right-handed scissors, which has the same R-I-G-H-T word, in this context, the word right means opposite of left. So this is critical if we're going to build generative UI, because we want to be able to understand context so that we can infer intent. We use that intent so that we know what page to render to the user, what's going to be the most relevant page to render to the user. Other NLPs are great at extracting keywords out of things, but that's not enough. It's not enough to be able to get just the word and return results for that word. It's good for some searches, but it's not the type of information that we need to build a generative UI. Because let's say that one user comes to your page and their query is make a return, and then another user comes to your page and their query is send it back. Imagine that, if you're just using keywords and maybe send a gift is one of the keywords that you use to be able to figure out what the layout is going to be, they would get, this person that says send it back would get search results for sending gifts, when the other person would get more relevant search results. An LLM isn't just looking for keywords. It can infer that both users mean the same thing. We've got two parts now. We got the natural language input on the front end, where the user puts in their natural language query. That query gets sent to the LLM. The LLM processes that. Next time, we'll talk about the next part of building a generative UI. Bye.